Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining me. This is Read the Signs with Roxy. I feel like it's been forever since I sat down here with you guys. I feel like I'm racing the sun. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Grounding into the energies. We're going to be doing a collective read. This reading finds you. There will be a message in here for you. All right. So, I'm going to go ahead and get this fire started. I feel like there were a couple messages that came through while I was collecting the wood. First of all, that there's a process to things, and if you don't follow the process, I know that it can feel kind of painstaking, and you're questioning whether it's really necessary. But I'd say to follow the path, and that shortcuts will only make you take longer. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull some cards. I do have some messages that have been coming through pretty consistently concerning the end of this year going into 2025. Um, a lot of energy about judgment and releasing all the self-doubt and criticisms that we've kind of gathered through all of our attempts to live our highest self. Okay, so I know it sounds easier than done, that death in the reverse, chariot and death in the reverse, because I'm gonna go ahead and let you know just this kind of epiphany that I had with outer body experiences, or learning about outer body experiences. I can't remember his name. It was like Darius something, but I love watching Next Soul Level podcast, and there is a message in there about when we die, that it's really our judgments that we have against ourselves that is going to come up, in a way, weighing your heart against a feather, and what makes it heavy in there, okay, in your heart space. So there's a lot of messages coming through about allowing your heart to be this an emerald heart, which I feel like is so funny because emerald is a color that has a little bit of blue, has a little bit of yellow. So it's like all of these three chakras. So that we're looking at the throat chakra, the heart, and the solar plexus, all kind of converging into the heart space of moving and speaking with love. So I feel like that's a really big message that wanted to come through the emerald heart. Okay, look at that. As I'm talking about, trying to move with our heart, I know that it can be a little bit scary, but I know that it does feel empowering. Oh, that word's not coming out. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into this. Into the deck, into the tarot. I'm using my trusty Rider-Waite tarot. This fire is going. Turn to the fire a little bit so you guys can see her. Wow. Okay. I don't often talk about my personal beliefs because I feel as though the message is going to come through regardless of what my beliefs are. But I am realizing that the reader really does affect the message. So if you feel resonated with this message, you and I are on a similar life path. I am an 11 in numerology, a Scorpio, Aquarius, Virgo rising, Scorpio stellium in my Mercury and my Venus, Pluto, and my Sun. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump into this, because I do believe in astrology, in the signs, but I do also believe that we are all the signs, and we're all moving towards a higher purpose, um, towards a higher light calling, a light body, which looks more like Christ consciousness, Christ energy. Okay, which is, I love Buddha, but he's also another ascended master that I look up to. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into this. I want to try doing this more. I definitely want to get back into my practice. I absolutely love reading. I have been reading for my community more, but I will get back into doing YouTube. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for clicking on the video. 5:15 on the clock. Okay. Sorry, I'm giving it a good shuffle because I did meet with some local friends and we did some pulling. So I just want to make sure this is nice and shuffled here. All right. So for the collective, please, for the collective, tuning in with our angels, our guides, Mother Gaia, our ascended masters. Please assist us here, the collective. Any information that we need to know, anything that needs to come through, please show us clearly. For the collective, what messages need to come through. For anyone watching at this time, any messages, any guidance, please show us clearly. It's a card in here. There you go. The Sun card flipped. Okay, thank you so much. What else for the collective? Sure, my mic is on. All right, so we have, so far we have the Page of Wands. Interesting energy coming through. Okay, so we have the Page of Wands, the Sun card in the reverse, and then we have the Nine of Swords. Okay, so I'm just gonna go with what I'm feeling here because it's like I feel like wow, it's interesting because I feel like there's a sense of disappointment in trying something, right? Man, this is so clear. So it's almost like a disappointment in trying something, and you're like, what did I try that for? Okay, there's like a, wow, maybe that death card wanted to come right after. Okay, so whoever is watching this, I feel like there is a message here about not wanting to get back onto the horse, feeling like, maybe you weren't seen like how you wanted to be seen. Something didn't play out like how you thought it was going to. Okay, maybe you didn't use the right words. A moment passed, and then you've been replaying that moment of what you imagine as misalignment, but really, there's just uh, it's just a rerouting. And I feel like, Spirit's trying to say with that little Sun card and that baby there, trying to say, hey, disappointment is also a success. And, if you look at it more like you're just trying to play, just trying to figure things out, you're just learning, you don't scold a child for making a mistake or not being able to ride a bicycle, not being able to walk. So there is a message of maybe, get a little bit more playful and out of your head, because we do have a lot of swords coming through. But that full moon in Gemini, I feel that's also what, Gemini is air sign, and the Lovers card. So it is kind of hard when you miscommunicate with the people around you, especially when you're trying to be efficient. Ruled by Mercury, so it's trying to get shit done. And how effective have you been playing that role of communicator? Okay. So okay. So what else do we have here? Little, sorry, I'll leave this off. Okay, so what else do we have? I'm going to jump into another deck. This is the Thoth deck. For the collective, please show me clearly for the collective. What is this? See, it's funny because there's a happiness here. There's a happiness. Strength card. You see, the Strength card wanted to come out earlier as well. This is the Nine of Wands. So the Nine of Wands, to clarify, this Nine of Swords. Okay. Yeah, I do feel like it's trying to say that, usually the reason why we have nightmares is almost the same reason why we have dreams. It's like the disappointment of maybe something possibly not succeeding. is as painful as having the dream itself. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's trying to say it's a strength. It's a strength to a dream. Okay, it's a strength to have ambitions, and to even be disappointed is a strength. It's like, oh, because you cared, because you wanted something, because you had a desire. So allow yourself to keep trying. Okay, with this Nine of Wands, it's like, it's like try as much, try in the way of doing what you love, and focusing on the light of that, because you see how the arrow is the sun and the moon there. So it's like focus on the act of creativity. Ooh, that's so interesting. Dang, these are so interesting. These moons here, they look like moons all over the arrows. Okay, yeah. So it says it's almost like take your shot into the unknown. Take your shot, right? Okay, let's see. What else do we have for the collective, please? I'm going to get some more clarifiers here. We'll see the sun in the reverse. Sun in the reverse is clarified by the Ace of Swords, right? Okay. Wow, this is a very sun card as well, right? But it looks like it's like the horizon, the dawn, the dawn. Ooh, yes. And you have that crown there. Wow, that's so interesting. This child is also wearing like a crown here. So I do feel like this is about being light. Ace of Swords, yeah, being light. I'm seeing a butterfly. I'm seeing like, the softness that it can weigh on top of a flower, like being very very light, very ethereal almost. Beautiful energy. Okay, let me see for this Page of Wands. Let's get one more clarifier here, and then I'll get into another deck. 12 minutes on the clock. All right, Page of Wands. Show me clearly, what is this Page of Wands? Okay, so interference, Prince of Cups, and the Magician. So that tracks. That tracks. Okay, so Magician was actually in the reverse. So it does track, because like I was saying, it's like you feel like there might be some blockages here, or maybe you're not fully, instead of being the King of Cups, I feel like this Prince of Cups is he's trying to navigate, but it's like almost like there's a little bit too much on his plate, almost, and that could be with this Nine of Wands and Nine of Swords. It might be like, because you have the 8 and the 9 here. Okay, so it could be that, you're feeling like maybe you're new at something, and you're trying to complete something you've never completed before. So it's really asking you to be brave, have courage, and bravery is not the absence of fear; it's being afraid and doing it anyway, right? So there isn't, there's whatever fear or fear of failure or disappointment that you have is not gonna be as good as powerful as when you succeed at this. And the thing about success is that every time you try, there's a success, right? Granted, it feels better when you hit the mark, but the only way that you'll be able to get that is if you miss some. Okay, you're not always gonna hit it, and that's what I feel like this Magician is here, reminding you that all of life is an act of creation. Look at him, that joy that he has on his face. I don't know if you can see him, but very light, and it's Hermes, because he has these wings on his ankles. So he's trying to remind us of the lightness here that the Ace of Swords is kind of bringing as well. So, wow, beautiful. So these 3 cards all came out. So we have wings here as well. So you could have some angels around you. Definitely pray to, to your angels, because I'm a firm believer that everyone has angels, and whatever you ask, help or guidance, or to kind of relieve some pressure, then it will be done. I do feel that way, as long as you are willing to give up certain things as well. Okay, certain things that might make you ill or make your thoughts ill, because our food, our content that we're watching, everything also creates and affects our thoughts and our energetic body. So we just want to be honest with ourselves about what we're doing to ourselves, okay? What choices that we're making. Because if we want to make new choices, we have to effectively be honest about what is contributing to the choices that we're making, okay? All right. fire's still going. All right. So this is my I Ching. Actually, I'm going to pull I Ching at the end. I love I Ching. So I'm going to pull some of this Aboriginal Dream Totem. I love this. Aboriginal Dreaming Totems. All right, let's get some clarifiers out here. All right, because you have the 8 and the 4 of swords. You have a lot of swords. There's a lot of overthinking here. Let's get some clarifiers on these swords. What are all these swords doing here for the collective? Please show me clearly. Ooh. That's so perfect. Oh my god. It's called Worthwhile. It says life is not about being taught a lesson for getting something wrong. It's about having an experience that adds richness to your life. So that's exactly what I was saying here when it comes to trying. Just it's like if you get something wrong, it's not a punishment. It's not about that. Let's see what else. What else with these swords? I think that might be it for this deck. What else with the swords? Please show me clearly. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so decisions. It's your decision whether you keep this up or let it go, but continuing will not change the circumstances or the outcome. Steadiness. Things seem to be moving slowly, but use this time to your advantage and gather your resources and build your energy. You're going to need them. I have been hearing that the astrology for 2025 is like insane, that there's going to be so much moving parts. So let's let's focus our energy where they need to go, okay? You are worried that by letting go of your frustration, those who are responsible will have perceive they have won. Well, they have won because the only one suffering is you. So yeah, so if you're holding on to something here that you maybe don't even want to do, you know, maybe it's that. Maybe that you want to try something new because you're unhappy about something else that's going on in your life, but you feel kind of insecure, like, how do I do it? I tried and I messed up, but try and try again, right? I do feel like that's the energy that's coming out here. Okay. It's worthwhile. It's worth your while. Okay. Now let's go ahead and I want to pull. I love this deck so much. 17:45 on the clock. I am going to pull one. This is Kim Cran's Archetypes, The Wild Unknown. Some bay leaves in here. Okay. All right. I'm going to give this a little shuffle. I haven't pulled these in a minute, so I'm actually very excited to do it. Very, 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 very excited. Thank you guys for being here with me. Thank you. One more shuffle. Okay. All right. So for the collective, please, let me sure my mic is on. For the collective, please show me clearly what is the message that needs to come through at this time for the collective. Show me clearly for Kim. I'm sorry, I was gonna say for Kim Kranz. For the collective, please. What card needs to come through for the collective? Show me clearly. Wow, that feels like one of the cards just almost came out, but I don't want to force it. Okay. These are always so weird because they're... Okay. So we have the Mystic. Ooh. Alright. The Mystic and the Crone at the bottom of the deck. These are for my Mystic Crones. Alright, so this is going to be 21. Okay, 21. Okay. 21, the Seeker, the Lightworker. The mystic is often misunderstood in our culture, depicted as a wandering or lighthearted daydreamer. Yet, like Shiva, the true mystic plays a critical role in society. remaining fearlessly dedicated to the path of transformation. In order to save the earth from darkness, Shiva swallows the poison of the world and holds it in his throat, slowly transmuting the liquid into nectar. This is the work of the mystic. They do not fear the darkness, but rather sit in the presence of it, harness the potential and latent energy behind it, and embed it with light. They are patient and prudent change makers, seeking growth above all else. Unanswerable questions are the mystic's life blood. The mystic reveals the mystery. I'm sorry, revels. I'm getting smoke in my eyes. Revels in mystery, in the great riddle of life, dancing with the forces of light and dark upon its wings. When light, remover of darkness, visionary, ageless. When dark, expects results, seeks attention and recognition. Wow, okay, like any light worker, the mystic must build a relationship with fire. This begins by awakening the inner flame or tapas within. It may seem that the mystic is inward facing, yet its light beams back to the world with the strength of 1,000 stars. Holy cow, holy cow, holy cow. That is so powerful. Okay, so I might be speaking with a collective here that is very in tune with their shadow, okay? And so I think that, you know, when you're when you spend so much time in your shadow, I think when you kind of feel a little bit heavier than you really are. You don't realize how much full of light and love, um, because I know that when you're alchemist, you're trying to transmute. So then you spend a lot of time, handling your darkness, and sometimes you just need to go back into the light. So I do feel like, with the sun in the reverse, um, the magician that came out in the reverse, and with all these swords in the way, it's kind of like, you know, you have. It's almost like saying you have your reasons to feel like it didn't go the way that you wanted to, because maybe you didn't make the right choices, or maybe you feel like um you know you drank too much, or you smoked too much, or you ate too much, and there's things where you're like, okay, I'm fucking up, like I know I'm making my mistakes. And so there's I feel like there might be some judgment there about that. So I feel like, good judgment, all judgment isn't bad. I feel like there's a reason why we have judgment as, human beings. So I do feel like, you know you're looking for, when you are the mystic and you're looking for growth above all things, these swords are opportunities for you to grow. Okay. And I feel like, remember I said that there's a butterfly energy here. There's a butterfly energy here with the Ace of Swords. Is trying to say, in order to navigate in the way that you're needing to, okay, in order to become the lightness, that's required for you to walk this path, you need to release some of these disappointments or these judgments that you have towards towards your shadow, towards your darkness, towards your nightmares. Okay, if you wake up from a nightmare and you're like, man, how am I still having nightmares about fear? And you realize, like, oh, okay, maybe I'm scared. You can allow that awareness, I think, allow that awareness to be more of a priority than it is to be actively afraid. Do you understand what I'm saying? I know it's a little bit hard, to grasp that when, when you're in the throes of a nightmare. um, but I always try to remember, when I wake up and I'm, back into this reality, that it was a message from my subconscious, and it's okay if it's something that I'm not necessarily fond of. If anything, it's more clear. It's trying to say, hey, there are these things here blocking your prosperity or your growth, or in the way of you actually learning your lesson, because you're choosing, um, to stay in the comfort or stay in the shadow, rather than, bring it towards the light and integrate it. Sometimes we can also romanticize our shadows, and then be like, but who would I be without them? You know what I mean? Or I don't know who I would be anymore. What would I look like? if I began to eat healthy, or if I began to, change my lifestyle, would I have to have different friends? Would I have to find a new profession? I feel like that's kind of with the page of wands. It's like there's something that's new that needs to be rebirthed, or something new that wants to be tried, or the fear of something new that is coming through. So, all right, let's get some more. Um, I'm feeling called to go with this Christ consciousness deck. I haven't been using it too much, so I wanna jump into it and let's see what comes through. Okay, I have not been using it, so such a good deck, so beautiful. So let's see what comes out for the collective. Please show me clearly. For the collective, what message do they need at this time? Please show me clearly. I need to buy new glasses because these are a little bit loose and keep having to push them up. Alright. What do we have, please, for the collective? Show me clearly. Oh, I just saw Ankh. Thank you so much. Alright. I love when they just pop out like that. So we have resurrection, embrace new life. What did I say? You guys, I'm not making it up. And look what color it is. There's like an emerald. It's like an emerald. Didn't I say it? Didn't I say it? Damn, I fucking love reading tarot. It's so good. Oh my goodness. Okay. 55 day, and the number 55 is such a, it's crisis, challenge, and change, but it'll lead you to where you need to be. All right, so I'm going to read this. All right. Do you believe fully? Do you believe in fully living your life, seeing each day as a gift and precious beyond measure? This may seem an odd question for a card about resurrection, since death is the factor preceding it, yet we can unconsciously operate and live as if we already are half dead, either willing the years to go faster as a consequence of grief or unhealed trauma, waiting for something to happen first, then my life will really begin, or to be an automatic pilot going through the motions with no awareness or presence. We can also fear death, scared of what is to come and not understanding that death is a natural part of nature's cycle, and there can be nothing new without it. Fear denies the wonder of God's creation in all its forms and stops us from stepping into our dreams and welcoming new experiences, events, and people. We become reclusive, not wanting to venture into our fullest expression and journey while here, full of doubt, consequently thwarting growth and ending up living a lesser life. In many ways, we are more afraid to live than to die. In the story of Lazarus, where Jesus raises a dead man from a tomb, it is interesting that disciples first interpret that the man is simply sleeping, not dead. Although Jesus later confirms he had indeed died, the ambiguity oh my god, I can't say it. Ambiguity of both sleep and death itself within the same passage is noteworthy. Actual death is merely stepping forward into another realm of existence, but we can waste time and sleepwalk through life, not caring to explore the meaning of life or the mysteries of creation and faith. However, walking in Christ consciousness is a chosen path by those who seek to grow, learn, and evolve, and asks us not just to celebrate our eternal life, but to enjoy the life we have now, to make the most of every day, a blessing despite anything going on around us. Being alive and allowing the soul's growth through every chapter, joyous and sad, is why we choose to incarnate and why we will likely do so again. Jesus said, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will not die. A clear teaching on the continuation of life that via embodying the qualities of love, grace, and all that he taught, the turning of the wheels between different planes of existence will be ensured. Knowing this gives us a bedrock of security, which can encourage us to want to do more, not wanting to waste a single moment. Knowing we are always held. Rebirth and resurrection occur every day upon waking. We have a chance to start over, try again, and embrace what we can create. Wow. To turn challenges into triumph and sadness into reflection and eventually laughter, and to see how every part fits to bring about the tapestry of our lives. Today, sit and feel into what you are ready to let go of and what parts of your life are complete, giving thanks to all you have learned. Pause, breathe, and take a moment to welcome in new energies that can transform and elevate your world, aspiring to live a full life made up of myriad moments. Know that your rebirth and resurrection are here, and a new chapter from the tomb of where you have been. You feel the sunlight on your face. Here, oh, sorry, love is here. New life is here. God is here within you, and you are free. Oh my God, I got so emotional. I feel like I'm gonna cry. Okay, wow. In this image as well, this image of the trees, okay, of the trees, and the sun is right there. And I feel like this is like you're closer than when they say you see the light at the end of the tunnel. This is even closer than that. You feel the sun, you feel the rays, you feel the warmth. There's just a few trees that you have to pass, and that's it. There's just a little bit farther, and 31:13 on the clock. The number three is the number of creation, okay? And the number 11 we're looking at healing. So I feel like it's asking you to not only create within, create in the external world. So and having this tandem of both ways, okay? Understanding that, so interesting because it feels like frequency. It feels like it's asking you to pay attention to the song of the universe, okay? And listen with your heart. And when it's like, it's almost like when you go like this and there's a wave, there's two ends to that wave, right? A beginning and an end. And I feel like, um, maybe there's a new song playing for us, okay? And the whole universe is a song, and maybe there's a new song playing and we're just not able to hear it yet, okay? And I feel like as we dial into it, we're gonna have to let some things go in order to be light enough. Okay, so I feel like that shedding needs to happen, before we're able to ascend and start dancing to the new song. Okay, collective. So, um, don't feel. I don't want to tell you what to do, but, um, releasing is um, is definitely, death is all part of nature, and nothing to be sad about. So as we release and say goodbye to who we used to be, we thank her, we thank them for everything that they've had to do in order to make us who we are right now, and welcome in new energies. We welcome in our. I don't want to, say our higher selves are more important, but I do think that, um, choosing the path of least suffering and understanding that, sometimes there's a drama that comes with being human. We get kind of, caught up in it, and, like how Plato's allegory kind of, explains that we're just shadows on the walls, and what's really happening is in another dimension. And I think 3333 on the clock. I think we really need to tune in with how big our souls really are, and to, I'm just gonna share this personally. I am, um, it's so funny because I didn't struggle with this like for a long time, but sugar and, sweets and desserts and stuff like that. I didn't really like bread. I didn't really like stuff like that, but like, I don't know. I just started started consuming it, and it's actually very addictive. And, I had this image of like, okay, imagine um, if Thoth, or Anubis, and he's weighing out my heart versus to a feather, and, what makes it way too heavy on my judgment is my sugar, or my inability to choose my health over sugar. And I just thought, oh my God, that is ridiculous. So if you can replace that with anything, like anger, or anything, resentment, or something that you could not forgive yourself for, and you thought that was more important than love, then wow, that just totally shifts your focus of like, okay, anything that pushes me away from love or unconditional love, anything that puts me outside of that love, It's what's going to keep you out of heaven, okay? And this is not just after we die. This is right now, okay? This is heaven is happening right now, and that peace and that love is happening right now, parallel to our, to the chaos and to the. So maybe we can't always be in heaven, but understand that it is a simple choice of our breath, our consciousness, and our awareness, okay? Our simple mindfulness. So, and I feel like when we focus on the swords, when we focus on our nightmares, or on the places that we can't go, on the things that we can't do, when we're in a reality that we can do so much, when we're focused on this, usually because there's a pain, right? And you're just so attached to the things that are in the way. You're so attached to things that are in the way, and all you need to do is keep going, because the light is right there. You just got a few more things to do, and then it's not like these are actually binding anyone anywhere. So yes, that new life is waiting for you, collective. I'm gonna go ahead and close it here. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for tuning in with me. I absolutely love reading. I love sitting here with you guys and making a little fire. This is Read the Signs with Roxy. If you resonated, please make sure to like and subscribe. If you guys can hear the wind, it's a nice affirmation. Thank you guys. I love you. I hope that you guys are well. Reach out if you need anything.